the new story technique. I love it because that new story is really the vision that you've put in your brain about your goal.
Correct. Exactly right. And I've found in situations and working with people, uh, there's a point at which someone comes up to you and says, this and this and this is going on. They're having a difficult time. There's a point at which they're processing the process, and then there's a point at some point where it's going to become chronic. Do you really want to tell a new story? I mean, and so my point being that with most people, it's like, okay, we've heard it through. We know this is very important to you. What would your news story sound like? If you were to tell this thing all over again and start a news story, what would it sound like? Just like what you were alluding to just moments ago, And then for some people, for whatever reason, they're just their mindset is that they don't want to be happy, and want to be happy. And you can say, look, there are just two choices. Yeah, I know you're not happy right now, but don't you realize that in 3 seconds from now, there's another just two choices moment. And then a millisecond later, there's a just two choices moment, because your life is a seamless sequence of just two choices. And so while you continue to tell this story that's an old story that doesn't serve you well, there's always a new opportunity to tell the story differently and better. And so, right now, it seems like you're determined to not be happy, or you're determined not to move out of it. And that's okay. At some point, perhaps you will. So that's just an example of using that old story, new story. Sometimes there'll be people processing, even myself processing, and I want to feel the funk, and then you go, okay, I felt the funk. Now let me start telling my new story, telling it like I want to be, envisioning like you described. So.